What's going on, boys? Welcome to the channel. My name is Ben, and the whole purpose of the video today is I want to give you guys just a clear, no BS action plan advice to actually make money online. What you need to do, what's the best path to go down, everything. Because I myself have been in the online space now for around 3 years, and the biggest problem I see nowadays really is that there's so much information out there. There's so many different things you can do. It can be very difficult to actually pick something that's going to work for you in your position, right? Because there's different business models like drop shipping, an agency model, even now like building AI agents, for example, for businesses. There's so many ways to go down, and they all work. But in my opinion, I wouldn't start them as a beginner. I'll tell you why. To give you some context on myself, I have been in the online space for 3 years. Like I said, I've tried different businesses. I've done coaching business in the past. I have even tried an agency model as well. And what really worked for me and I found the most success is actually getting into remote sales, because maybe you've heard this term, appointment setter, high ticket closer, but if you haven't, think of all big online businesses. The best examples are like Iman Gadzhi, for example, right? Big people who already have maybe like successful businesses, they need sales reps, right? And the most simplest position you can be as a sales rep is called an appointment setter or an SDR. And the best example I can give is, for example, with Iman Gadzhi. If you DM Iman Gadzhi, for example, hey, I want to learn more about Digital Launchpad, for example, obviously Iman's not going to be the one who's going to message you back, right? The person in his DMs is called a setter or like SDR. And their whole job is to just book sales call appointments for the business owner's sales team. And that's it. It's a very, very simple role. But the reason why I want to say it is because that's what I actually personally did. All through 2024, I was an appointment setter for a very big like online info offer. Now, before that, I tried different businesses. I tried an affiliate marketing business. That was my very first venture into the online world. Didn't work out, unfortunately. Then I actually tried an agency model. Again, didn't have a clue what I was doing. But it wasn't until I really found appointment setting, which is like the sales rep role, that's where I found the most success. And really, I stopped running my own business at the time to do appointment setting full time, really. It was like the start of 2024, because I didn't have enough skills, right? Like, to run a business, that's the thing. You need a lot of skill sets already in place. You need to know how to do a lot of things. Like, for example, if you have an agency, you need to know how to outreach to clients, how to actually book sales calls for agency, how to close deals, then how to fulfill to your clients so they stay with you. And it works. I have friends who have an agency, but if you're completely fresh, instead, if I were you, focus on remote sales. And really the benefit of starting remote sales, guys, is because it's not a business. You know, if you're looking, what type of online business should I start to make money online? This isn't a business, it's a sales role, but you're working with online businesses already, right? And your job is simple. As an appointment setter, you just book sales calls, because the best example I can give is even with Iman Gadzhi and just other big online business owners that you may know. Obviously, if you want to buy their high ticket program, you are going to talk to a sales rep on a sales call. That's called a closer. But the person who actually sets you up with the closer in the first place is the appointment setter. And with me personally, to be fully transparent, all through 2024, I was a setter. I was making around 3 to 4K a month consistently. My biggest month personally was 5K. And I wasn't a business owner. And really, in your position, guys, if you're starting off, maybe you're between 18 and 25, maybe you could be in college or work 9 to 5. If I were you, the best thing to do is just to find something that can replace your income, for example. And starting a business, it can do that, but it's a lot more difficult if you're starting off, if you're fresh. While becoming an appointment setter, you can work an already successful business and you can start making decent money. Like I said, 3-4K a month. I've even seen setters. One of my actual clients I work with, about a year or two ago, he's making between 5 to 10K a month now as a setter and setter manager, right? He grew. But the point is, you can make very good money as an appointment setter, and it's a much simpler role. It's just remote sales is much simpler, and it's easier to get your foot into the door. And if you think long term as well with possibilities, you could do what my friend did, well, my ex-client. He grew into setting management, so now he manages setting teams and also still does setting. But if you work in a big business or a big company as an appointment setter, you can learn the insights as well of how. So if you want to maybe have an agency, for example, and you're an appointment setter for an agency business, you can see how they like run their operations, how the business works and everything. If you work in a massive business, for example, making 100, 200K a month, you can see the insights of what they do and you can learn. So long term, if you want to start your own thing, you can pick up from what you learned working with that business. But really, it's very simple here. I'm not trying to like sell you on some different mechanism or whatever, but just genuine advice, right? Like if you're starting off, just avoid starting a business for now. You don't have to never do it, but I would honestly get into sales, get a remote sales role, become an appointment setter. Like I said, all you do is if you work for a big online business owner, you just could be in their DMs all day and booking sales calls for the closers to take. And that's your job. And then you get basically paid a commission for every sale. Usually like industry standards like 5%. So if maybe the business owner you're working with sells a $5,000 program, and if you get 5% commission, you make $250 per sale. This is the best example of what you could do. But that's how that works. And it's a much simpler role. But like I mentioned, it'll get you in. You can quit. If you're working a job right now, you can easily match your income on a very good offer, even exceed it. And then you'll be able to achieve what you want, right? Remote freedom, work wherever you like, move to Spain, Bali. Essentially, it gives you that freedom. Of course, to be transparent, you're not going to be like, working 2 hours a day and living that chill lifestyle. You're going to have to work. You'll work hard. Like, it's still a job, but it gives you a lot more freedom and flexibility. Fully remote, you can do whatever you like. And it's the simplest way, in my opinion, to actually go from working a 9-to-5 job, for example, to making money online. Because the barrier to entry is quite low. Like, as an appointment setter, it's not like, if you want to be a closer, that's a more advanced sales skill level, right? So if you're completely new and even never done sales before, you could do closing, but it's going to be more difficult to find a really good role. While if you're an appointment setter, it's very simple. You're just booking sales calls, booking appointments. Now there's more involved in how to actually do it, but the concept is pretty simple. And the barrier to entry is quite low as well. So, and honestly, to give you an action plan as well, I want you to leave this video with a plan in mind. So if you want to go down the appointment setting route, you can watch more of my content first to learn more about it. I'll be posting a lot more videos on how it works and everything. But if I were you, if you want to land an appointment setting role, just do outreach, right? Just do outreach to multiple business owners. Think of people like Iman Gadzhi. There's lots of people like that. But just reach out to them. I would, of course, clean up your Instagram profile first. Reach out on Instagram, have pictures posted of yourself, show us you're a real human being, and just start outreaching. See if people are looking for an appointment setter, show you're hungry, add some personalization. Hey, I've watched your content for a while, I really love what you do. I feel like I'd love to work in your industry and be a part of your team. And ask, are you looking for an appointment setter? If you do hundreds of outreach messages, guys, you'll get an interview and you'll find a role. And really what people look for, as long as you're hungry, let me just move my camera. As long as you're hungry and you're motivated and you're willing to put in the work, people are willing to take a chance on you. I've had friends who've gotten appointment setter roles where they've showed up, they've had no experience or no prior jobs they've worked, but they show up and they have the intent and they're saying, I'm going to put in the work. They can, show they're hungry essentially and serious. That's what business owners want. Young people, young guys who are hungry and want to make money. They're always willing to give a chance. So that's really, this is not a very scripted video. I just wanted to give you guys some advice, really what's on my brain. But yeah, that's what I do. If I were you, become an appointment setter if you want to make money online. And then long term, you could start your own thing, right? For me personally, I have my own appointment setting coaching business. I like coaching others. That's the path that I went down personally. But I've had friends who start off appointment setters that now run their own sales agencies. So there's so many paths you could do. But it all starts with that one skill to get you in the door. But guys, if you found this helpful, if you enjoyed the video, just feel free to subscribe because I'm going to post a lot more content. Just really sharing my journey, giving you guys good actionable advice. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video and I'll chat to you next one.